So, what if I told you the secret to a really powerful persuasive argument wasn't in some high powered law school, but in a sixth grade classroom? Well, today we're going to unpack a fascinating blueprint for persuasion, one that's all about teaching wisdom over volume. Let's dive in. Okay, let's start with a big question. What actually makes an argument powerful? Is it just being the loudest person in the room? The most aggressive? Well, the lesson we're about to walk through suggests the real answer is something totally different. And this quote right here from a passage in the lesson called Words That Win is the core idea that's going to guide us. It just sets the stage perfectly, right? Persuasion isn't about anger or volume, it's about wisdom and value. So here's how we're going to break that down. Here's our game plan. We'll start with the art of argument itself. Then we'll get into the persuader's toolkits and see how to actually build a case step by step. And finally, we're going to connect it all back to that core philosophy of wisdom over volume and the moral foundation this whole thing is built on. All right, first up, the art of argument. We're starting here because we need to understand how this lesson frames persuasion not just as a technique, but as a really thoughtful and deliberate craft. Okay. So let's get into the persuader's toolkit. You know, any craft requires the right tools, and for making a good argument, that means you need a clear vocabulary. This lesson boils it all down to 5 essential building blocks for making your case. First, you've got the claim. Super simple, right? Think of this as the foundation of a house. It's your main point, your core idea. Everything else is going to be built right on top of this. Next up, you need evidence. A claim without any proof is really just an opinion. So the evidence, the facts, the stats, the quotes, that's the solid ground your argument stands on. This is what gives it actual weight. Now for reasoning, and honestly, this is such a crucial step. It's not enough to just throw a fact out there and hope it sticks. Reasoning is the bridge you build that connects your evidence directly back to your claim. It's you explaining why it all matters. It answers that big, so what question. And here's a move that shows you're really confident in your argument, the counterclaim. See, a strong argument doesn't pretend the other side doesn't exist. It actually brings it up. By stating the opposite view, you're showing you've really thought about the whole issue. And as soon as you've brought up that counterclaim, you hit him with the refutation. This is your response. It's where you explain exactly why that opposing view is flawed or maybe just doesn't tell the whole story. It's the move that makes your own claim even stronger. Okay, so those are our 5 key tools, but how do they all actually work together in a real argument? It's kind of like a puzzle, right? Well, the lesson gives us the perfect little exercise to see exactly how all these pieces interlock. Let's just walk through this one. The main point, the claim, is all students should wear school uniforms. Why? The reasoning is because they remove distractions. How do we know that? Well, the evidence is that studies show. Then you bring in the other side's point, the counterclaim, that uniforms take away expression. But you don't stop there, you finish with the refutation. See? Each piece has its own job to do. So now that we get the individual parts, let's look at how you actually assemble them into a full argument. This is where we go from knowing the vocabulary to actually building the structure. And what's really cool is the lesson provides a literal blueprint. It's a clear step-by-step process. You start with your main claim, then you build up your case with the reasons and evidence, and notice it's only after your case is solid that you deal with the opposition. It's a really logical flow. And to make sure this isn't just some abstract idea, students are told to apply this exact framework to topics they actually know and care about. You know, should phones be allowed in class? Should recess be longer? It shows that this structure isn't just theoretical. It's the tool for real-world debates. So we've seen the mechanics, right? The how-to of building a strong case. But remember that guiding idea, wisdom over volume? Well, this is where it all comes together. Now we're going to dig into the why, the specific philosophy that's behind this whole approach. The lesson actually includes a scripture reflection on this verse from Proverbs, and the takeaway here is huge. The goal isn't just to win an argument. The goal is to be wise and thoughtful. It frames persuasion as something that comes from your character, not just your technique. And to drive this home, the lesson even throws in a fun fact. It points to the Apostle Paul not as someone who just spoke with passion, but as someone who reasoned with people, who used evidence to prove his points. The model for persuasion here is methodical and evidence-based. This all leads to the lesson's truth to remember. That a persuasive voice that's rooted in truth is an incredibly powerful tool. It creates this direct, unbreakable link between speaking well and having integrity. And this brings us to our final section, where the mission behind this curriculum becomes crystal clear. Because, as we've seen, this lesson on how to argue doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It's built on a very specific moral and educational foundation. So here it is. The source material explains the philosophy of the HeroesMart Academy. It's all about intertwining biblical morality with education. It makes the bold claim that education without morality will hurt, and even asks, what's the point of being smart if you just make bad choices? This is the bedrock that this whole teaching approach is built on. And that really is the biggest takeaway from all of this. This isn't just a lesson in rhetoric, it's a lesson in character. The way you build an argument, the way you use evidence, the respect you show for the truth, it's all seen as a direct reflection of who you are as a person. So, we're left with this final question to chew on. This lesson provides one blueprint, one that fuses logic with a very specific moral code. And it makes you think. As we all go out there and build the arguments that shape our relationships, our communities, our world, what's in our blueprint?